So, a little video on how I solder just a plain ring band. I was shown a couple of ways. I'll show you the first way I was actually shown. I always find it problematic, and then I will show you the second way. So the first way is I've fluxed the joint. I've got a little bit of solder already fluxed up, and it's put it on to the top of the joint there. I'm doing this sort of like a bit awkwardly so you can see the joint. The joint's not, so that's on top of the joint more or less. I have a solder probe somewhere on my bench, and as always it's never around when I actually need it. So where has that gone? Second bench. I'm showing off second bench. So I've got a solder probe, titanium probe, and I'm going to solder this joint. Get my flame brulee torch type thing. Brilliant. So I will go into the back of the ring, heat from the back, go around in a circle. Now, as you can see, the front's bubbling because the flux is made with water. You flux the solder and that's water, and it's moved. Now in this case it's not too bad, but you can see it's now fallen off the top and now gone down the back. This is the problem. So I'd have to stop and restart. I'm going to quickly try and look at the back. The solder has moved to the back of the joint. I don't know if you can see it, but it's actually fallen down the back there a bit, and it's behind the joint. So in theory I could, well, let's see, we'll just carry on soldering. Working the flame around, and if you've soldered rings or soldered things, this might be a little bit boring for you, but I'm working around. And the reason I work from the back and go to the front is the metal expands and it closes the joint at the front. I think I might have to put some more gas in this brulee torch. And it's gone. So that's soldered. Bit of a pain. Solder's moved. So I'll take this ring off and put it onto a block. Now I've got just another ring that I cut through for this demonstration, and I'm going to get a piece of solder, and I'm using a larger bit of solder than I normally would. A piece of solder there on the block. I then flux up the joint. I've already done that, but I'm just going to reflux it. This isn't too good a joint, it's just a practice ring. Now, instead of putting the solder on top of the ring, I will put the ring on top of the solder. So you can see the solder joint there. The solder is underneath. There's a gap. So you can see a clear, distinct gap. Now, the problem before was the solder moved. And you could use a solder probe with a bit of solder on it and drop it in, but as you're getting to my sort of age, shaky hands, so not so good. But this way, as you can see, the solder is underneath the joint. There's a gap there. Now, the solder's not going to move. It's got the weight of the ring on top. So I'm going to come in and solder this, but what I hope you'll see is I use this gap here. So I solder in the same way. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do is quickly stick a bit more gas into Here, just to make sure I've got enough gas in my brulee torch. Sorry about the that's better. Again, I'll come into the back, start at the back of the ring so metal expands and it makes the gap at the front, or there should be a gap at the front anyway, but it makes the joint close up. So start on the back, again keep it moving. I sort of like go in an arc, and then I'm looking for the ring to change colour. As this has already been soldered once, it's still that white, but if you use new silver. Now it's starting to get red, and I'm going to go around in circles. Now what I watch for is the gap. See, so you would have seen that ring drop. The ring's dropped, which means the solder's flowed. When I was first shown this technique, I thought it's got to be done by gravity. So we've got capillary action. So the solder has gone up the joint, therefore it's away from underneath. So the ring drops. So you know that the solder's flowed when you see the ring drop down. And even if you've got a little bit of solder, you actually see the ring drop down. So once that happens, pull the flame away. And when I'm doing ring making days with couples, I look for that. As soon as that ring drops, I pull away. Especially if I've got a couple using sort of like 18 karat white gold, well, any 18 karat gold, just to make sure that they don't keep the flame there. But I know we keep it moving. But as soon as that ring drops down, I pull it away. Great little technique that I was shown, and I recommend it to you. So give it a go. It's Mark Fenn Productions. Have a good afternoon. Thank you.